I ain't no altar boy. I ain't no yes man. No, no. You ain't no God of mine. I don't need your glasses to save me. That's why they'll let you have a 13 Central. 5 George K. 5 George K. 5 George K.
I like this song. Sorry. Well, hey, everybody. I'm David Ridings with Crime Time Central. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're live on Stand Against Dark Blue, the only platform that I know of out there that stands with good cops against the bad cops. We root out evil in the police departments, and we shine light on it when we see it. And we're going to do that tonight. We have Bullycam Tuesday. You're going to like Bullycam Tuesday. Well, you may not like it, but like it or not, this is what cops are doing all across the country. Two days in a row, we're dealing with Texas police officers. Congratulations, boys and girls in blue, for doing your part to continue the great divide between public trust and law enforcement. Way to go. It's so frustrating when I see videos like this. Why? I mean, look at the town. When you see it, obviously they don't have anything better to do there. The great crime of the night is, wait for it, walking in the roadway. A pedestrian walking in the roadway.
Bingo.
Oh my goodness. Yes, that's correct. We have a pedestrian walking in the roadway. Headquarters. I've got a pedestrian walking in the roadway. Don't worry. I have my handcuffs ready. Good Lord. All right, a little background here. This young man is walking home, as he does every night, from his job at Walmart in Plano, Texas. It's a snowy night there, snow-covered ground, nobody moving around. I don't see any cars other than the police cars. And for some reason, somebody called the police on this boy and said, I don't know what they said. I didn't hear the 911 tape, but called the police on this boy because what? He's not wearing a jacket and it's cold outside. I mean, yeah, he's got short sleeves on, but I might take a walk on a nice snowy night with my short sleeve shirt on if I know I don't have very far to go. Or if I have a job at Walmart and that's the only way I can get to and from, maybe that's what I do. Clearly, this young man doesn't want to talk to the police, and he tells them that, and he keeps walking. Perfectly within his rights to do. Cops don't have the right to stop you just because they want to stop you. This right here is what we call a consensual conversation case that police sometimes rely on, and they'll say, I made consensual contact with the individual. And if you stop and agree to talk to the police, then they can continue to talk to you, and they can actually interrogate you without reading you your rights, because you're not being detained. So you're not in a custodial interrogation, which the custodial part is what triggers your rights being read to you. It doesn't trigger your rights being available to you. That's something that everybody needs to understand. Your rights are always available to you. The right to remain silent is inherent, and it's always there, whether or not the cops read it to you or not. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say is going to be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to speak to an attorney and to have one with you before they ask you any questions. If you so desire and can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you at no charge. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions. You can start answering questions and decide later that you don't want to anymore, and you can quit mid-sentence. Now, I don't think it's ever good to start answering questions without a lawyer. Ever. when I counsel with people who have been charged with a crime as a defense attorney, I tell them there's nothing good that comes from you talking to the police ever, especially without a lawyer. And if you get a lawyer, any good lawyer is not going to let you talk to the police ever. Now, Plano, Texas, apparently they read the Constitution a little different down there because you have to talk to them if they approach you. That's what this lady says. You have to talk to us. You have to stop and talk to us. No, he doesn't. Well, in hindsight, yeah, I guess he kind of did since anyway, I'm giving away the video before I actually play the video. So let's watch the video. This is going to be great. You're going to love it.
Incident updated.
Dude, stop. We're trying to help you.
Whoop. Hey, man. Whoop. You trying to get home? Are you trying?
Okay. What's up with the whoop? Did you hear that twice? She does it from her car. Whoop. Like that's, I don't know. What is that? What is that? You're a police officer. You have a siren that makes that noise. Why do you have to make that noise? Because you want him to stop? You're trying to be friendly? Jovial? This makes me mad. I hate it when cops...
Trying to get home? You straight? You need a ride somewhere?
Are you trying to get home? No, I'm straight. For those of you that don't understand the English language, that means, nope, I'm good. Madam Police Officer, he's good. Short sleeves and all. Sorry.
Hey, look, we just want to make sure you're all right. We just want to make sure you're all right.
Come here.
Sir, you need to talk to us, okay?
No, I don't. That's a very good statement. So notice he's crossing the street. He's not walking in the middle of the roadway. That's going to be important here in a minute. Now,
Sir,
I'm good, bro.
can you calm down? All right? Sir.
Don't touch me.
Sir, look, we just want to talk to you.
Oh,
all right?
Good. I'm on the way home. I'm straight.
Okay.
Where am I going?
Okay, but you're walking in the middle of the road.
All right. I understand that. My bad.
okay. Notice, if you will, the footprints that he's tracing. He might be walking in the roadway, but he's walking in the roadway, number one, because there's not an adjacent sidewalk that's readily available, which, by the way, in Texas, it's illegal to walk in the middle of the roadway. It's actually a Class C misdemeanor, a pedestrian walking in the middle of the roadway, unless you have to walk in the roadway because there's not a sidewalk available to you, which in this case would be a good defense for walking in the roadway, the big serious crime that we're all out fighting tonight. Jesus. Unbelievable. So now clearly we're off the roadway. This looks like an alley, maybe. Hard to tell what these things are on the side of on each side. I don't know. It looks like maybe a privacy fence on each side.
We just trying to figure out where you're going.
Home. I just said that.
Ooh.
Oh, you okay, dude?
Watch out, man.
Where's home at?
Do you want us to just give you a ride?
No, I'm good. I do.
Do you want us to give you a ride? No, I'm good. Again, difficult for people that don't understand English, Madam Police Officer. He's good.
This every night, literally. I'm straight.
Okay.
You said I do.
You
this
ain't cold or
every night.
nothing?
No.
Okay. You ain't cold or nothing? Give you a ride?
No, I'm good. I do this every night, literally. I'm straight.
I do this every night. Literally, I'm straight. I walk to and from work every night, which, by the way, I'm walking to and from work. I actually have a job in America which is more than I can say for a lot of people sitting around collecting unemployment because it pays more than their job. Don't get me started on that. This young man is absolutely well within his rights to walk to and from work and be undisturbed by the police. This is still America. But it doesn't feel like it anymore.
Okay. You ain't cold or nothing?
No.
With that cheap shirt on?
I'm good.
What's your name, man? Huh? You don't know?
That means I don't have to answer that question. I haven't committed a crime. You don't reasonably suspect that I've committed a crime. You don't have probable cause of a crime. You don't have a reason to identify me. I'm just walking home from work. Leave me alone. You're allowed to tell a police officer no. You're allowed to tell a police officer, I don't want to talk to you. In fact, you should tell a police officer who approaches you like this and is this aggressive following. I mean, good Lord, she's following him on foot, begging him to stop and be interrogated. You have to stop and talk to us. No, the last I checked, I still lived in America. So I don't have to stop and talk to you. Does this make anybody else mad? Is anybody else just absolutely fuming at this kind of behavior from cops? And I used to be a cop. Listen, I love the police. I support the police. I back the blue. Every time they do something good, I shine a light on it. But when they do this bully crap, I'm shining a light on that every day. I'm going to have a Bullycam award every single day. And I'm going to call out the police departments that do this kind of crap because they need to be called out. You're not helping the problem. Stop and think about what your end goal is here, ma'am. You're following this guy who's done nothing wrong, and you're just absolutely harassing him to stop and talk to you because he's got a short sleeve shirt on, or maybe because he's black with a short sleeve shirt on, because you can see his black skin more with the short sleeve shirt on. Okay, so I don't have any evidence that she's a racist, but I do have evidence that she's a bully. And she's not alone.
Can you just stop and talk to us for a minute? Do you mind? Do you mind just talking to us for a minute? Just talk to us for a minute. Just talk to us for a minute.
I ain't gonna put my hand on a female. Please don't touch me.
Okay, I'm just trying to get your attention, okay?
I ain't gonna put my hand on a female, but please don't touch me. She doesn't have the right to touch him. And she's putting her hands on this man. And again, I have to ask, why? What's the end goal here? Comment below. Are you with me? Does this piss anybody else off? Or maybe it's just me.
We're just trying to make sure you're okay.
Don't touch
We're trying
me.
to make sure you're okay. We're trying to make sure you're okay. Sir?
No, what?
We're trying.
No, what?
We're doing an investigation.
I don't care. I'm going home.
You were officially detained.
No.
Yes,
Sir.
yes, you are.
Bro, stop.
Okay. First mistake of the young man of the night. Well, I won't say the first, but the first big mistake. You can't say no when they say you're detained. You can, but it doesn't go well for you. The proper way to handle police contact is when they say you're detained, you ask them what crime you've committed and you ask for an attorney. I would like an attorney before you question me anymore, because what they're going to do when they detain you and they haven't placed you under arrest, that's a big red flag to me. It means I don't have enough to arrest you yet, so I'm going to use this word detained. And it means you're not free to leave while I still investigate why I might decide to arrest you for something that I haven't seen committed yet. But in order for me to arrest you, I'm going to have to ask you questions to get you to admit to something that you've done wrong so I can arrest you, which is ultimately what I'm after. So when you're being detained, you say, oh, I'm sorry, officer. What crime do you suspect me of? And can I have an attorney here with me right now? I don't want to answer any of your questions unless you give me an attorney right now. They won't. You're not going to be allowed to have an attorney on the middle of a snowy night in a back alley somewhere of Plano, Texas. But then, according to the law, all questioning has to stop. Because now he's required to read you your rights, which they never do here. They never read this man his rights. They never read him his rights in the whole thing. Hey, Adam. Yes. Officially detained. Yeah, whatever. So that's a trigger word. It's a key word that, you look for when cops don't have enough probable cause to actually arrest you. So let's see what goes on from here.
Stop. Just relax.
Just relax, all right?
Just relax.
We're just trying to talk to you.
I got an anger problem. Please get off me. No.
Stop.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to touch you.
Yeah, you didn't stop. Put your hands behind your back now.
So he accidentally bumps into one of these police officers because he's kind of trying to pull away, which is a mistake that he made. He shouldn't be trying to pull away. If they're going to cuff him, he has to let them cuff him. That's the only way. That's the best way for you not to get hurt in this country. And I don't believe that we have a systemic racism problem in America. I think we're the least racist country in the history of the world. And I don't believe that we have a systemic racism problem in policing. We have a systemic power problem in policing. And we have a bully problem in policing. We have too many police officers that want to be bullies and got into the department because they are bullies and they want to exert that power. Some get into it with the good intentions. They get the power and they get drunk with the power and they begin to abuse the power. And I don't know which these people are, but once you realize that somebody's abusing their power and authority as a police officer, you have to get rid of that police officer or they will get worse. And bullies like this should be fired. Absolutely fired. I don't have any leeway there. No room for improvement when you're a bully like this. You get fired. And you turn the investigation over to the post-certification agency or organization for the state. Here in Tennessee, it would be POST, Police Officer Standard Training, or Peace Officer Standards Training, because they control your license and they can suspend your license from being a police officer while you're under investigation so that you can't go retire quietly from this police department that's investigating you and pop up on another police force somewhere else while you're being investigated at the old department that they can't do anything about because you've left. If you can turn the investigation over and turn it away from the local police department, don't let them investigate themselves. Let the investigation agency of the state that provides your license do the investigating. And when you have situations like this that arise, and we have it on camera. I mean, I don't know if this guy has complained or he hasn't yet filed any kind of legal action. Let's watch the rest, and then I don't want to give you any spoilers, but I mean, spoiler alert, he was arrested for a C misdemeanor because now they put their hands on him and you can't go back from that. If you're a police officer and you put your hands on somebody and you have to wrestle them to the ground or to the, get them cuffed, or you have to manhandle them to cuff them, and you don't arrest them, then, well, you'll get suspended for stuff like that. So once they put their hands on you, you're going to jail, because cops aren't going to put their hands on you and then go, oh man, I'm sorry, I'm going to let you go because I've had a revelation. No, they're going to escalate it now, and they're going to arrest him for something. And probably included in that, well, I've read ahead, they didn't charge him with the resisting arrest here, which they could have charged him with, because he did technically resist. Although it be an unlawful arrest, it's still not a defense to resist an unlawful arrest, to the crime of resisting arrest. So they were operating here on their community caretaking function. The community caretaking function of a police officer means that you can check on the welfare of something. In layman's terms, you can check on the welfare of somebody, even though you're not technically investigating a crime. That way you can approach and ask them questions. That's what they originally started doing here, checking on his welfare because he's walking in the cold without a jacket, allegedly. I think there's more to it than that, but that would require me to have evidence of their racism, and I don't have. So I'm not going to call these cops racist because that would be, that would be wrong, and precision matters. And I'm not going to call somebody a racist if I don't have any evidence that they're a racist. Now, they're mistreating this man for absolutely no reason. And he does happen to be black and they happen to be white. So some would call that evidence. I'm not, because I don't think it leads conclusively to the end result of them being a racist.
You are not free to go.
Why?
The next thing you do is going to be get a charge right now.
For what?
Because you're pushing on an officer.
I'm not pushing. How am I pushing on you?
You're actually resisting, dude. It's resisting arrest or detention. Give us the channel.
Please just let me go.
No.
My house is literally right there.
He just
Right at his house. He's almost home. He's like, my house is literally right there.
tells the address.
But they don't care.
Wait.
Relax, dude.
Let it come from.
I'm trying to.
Please just let me go.
Wow, you're really making this worse right now.
We're talking to
Honestly.
do that,
Okay,
dude.
he's about to cook it. All right. It's not back here.
Hang up. This is why I did it.
Dude, just stop.
Stop. Let me go.
resisting.
Just let me go. Let me go.
Stop.
Let me go.
Stop resisting.
Bro, fuck that. Bro, just let me go.
Relax.
Bro. Now my
Give us.
What's wrong with you? You got me.
Get on the ground, dude. Just get on the ground. Stop resisting.
You want me to get on this snow after y'all was worried about me? Really?
You're talking.
That's an excellent point. I missed that the first time I watched it. Get on the ground. Get on the ground, they said. He said, you want me to get on the ground in the snow after you was worried about me being cold? It just, the hypocrisy is just absolutely over the top. I can't believe that police officers in 2021 would do something like this.
This problem right now. This never had to go this way, man.
She said, this never had to go this way. You're making that. She said, wow, you're just making this really worse than it had to be. Who's making it worse than it had to be? Well, I don't think y'all want to watch the rest of this. Basically, it's just
I'm going to take care of your
a
food.
struggle to get him cuffed. And let's talk about what the cops did. Okay. That's what this show's all about. Let's talk about what the cops did. And Adam says it sounds absolutely ridiculous. I agree that it was escalated to this. Absolutely ridiculous. But when you have bully cops that have all the power and no common sense, that's what you get. And when you have a cop that's got a bigger ego than the law allows, they're never going to back down. So once she made it up in her mind, she was going to talk to this young man and she was going to save him because he's just this poor little black child walking in the snow in short sleeves. Does that not make you want to freaking throw up? So you're going to help him. Please stop and talk to us so we can help you. And then when he doesn't need her help because he's a grown, stinking man, you're going to put your hands on him. And in the culture we're in today, white cop, black man done nothing wrong. You put your hands on him. What do you think he's going to do? What do you think he's going to think? What do you think everybody in the community is going to think when they watch this video? Do you think they're going to go, back the blue, back the blue? Some will, because some think cops can't do any wrong. But if that's you, and you think cops can't do any wrong, even after watching videos like this one and the one we showed last night, well, bless your heart is about all I can say. and it don't mean what you think it means. Because you're just ill-advised. So shame on these police officers. They knew it, and that's why they followed him. Yeah, that's true. Or maybe they thought they were going to get something else. Maybe they thought he had weed in his pocket. I don't know. It's a slow night in Plano, apparently. But at the end of the day, if you're a cop out there and you're watching this, and if you're watching this channel, and there are some really good police officers that support us, they've signed our pledge, and they've said, you know what? I admit there's a problem in this country. I admit that it probably exists in my police department, and I'm going to keep my eye out for it. I'm going to denounce this blue code of silence that keeps all this crap secret, because that no code of silence is healthy. If you have a code of silence, if you have an organization that's based upon silence, nothing healthy comes from that. So if you've got a police department or law enforcement in this country, and you're still teaching the blue code of silence in the academy, shame on you. You need to be teaching it in the sense that this is what it used to be, and we're going to denounce that blue code of silence. We don't keep anything silent in this police department. And if I can get police chiefs to go to standagainstdarkblue.org, actually .com, standagainstdarkblue.com or org, and sign our pledge and post it on your wall in the lobby and say, our police department stands against darkness. We don't allow evil to exist in this police department. And if we find it, we're going to shine a light on it and we're going to root it out. And if I see another police officer doing crap like this, I'm going to take immediate action and I'm going to stop it. I'm going to stop that police officer from harassing the citizen. That's what it says. And the citizen pledge is similar. It just says, I agree that not every cop is like this, because they're not. The majority of cops wouldn't do this. But there are some that will, obviously. And when you get one on a police department that does it, and then the other ones kind of join in and they go, yeah, let's stop this guy from going home. Surely he's committed a crime somewhere. And if we can stop him long enough and interrogate him in this back alley without a lawyer, maybe he'll admit to it. If it's not that, what are you doing? I mean, if you're not doing police work and you're trying to solve a crime, what are you doing? Why are you harassing this man? It just doesn't make sense to me. So that's why we exist. It's to bring you videos like this so you can be aware of two things. One, there are bad cops out there. And when you run into one of them, this is what you need to do. And this is how you need to act. And this is how you need to react. What he should have done early on is said, stopped. And when they, especially when they went to put their hands on him, stop, put your hands up and say, am I being detained? If they say yes, and they use that word here, you're being detained. You're officially being detained. Then you say, what crime do you suspect that I've committed? Call your supervisor right now to the scene right now in the middle of this back alley. And if one of them is the supervisor, say, call your, because if it's a sergeant, then he's got a supervisor. It's called the lieutenant. And if the lieutenant's out there in the back alley, I'd be shocked, because they don't do police work like that in most cities. Not that they don't do police work. I know a lot of lieutenants who do a lot of police work. So don't take that the wrong way. What I'm saying is lieutenants wouldn't be instigating something like this over a short sleeve shirt on a cold night. But if it is the lieutenant, then you ask for his supervisor, the captain. I want the supervisor of the highest ranked officer on this scene. I want you to call him here. I want you to explain to him what you're doing to me. And I want him to explain to me why I'm being detained. And while you're at that, call a lawyer for me before you ask me any questions, because I'm not going to answer any questions without a lawyer. Had this young man realized what his rights were, had he taken a class in high school or college, they need to provide this class in high school. They need to provide a class that deals with police contact in high school. And we need to be teaching our young people how to be pulled over by the police. Now, some of you will hate on me for that. Well, they'll think it's just common sense. It's not common sense. It's absolutely not common sense. I know a lot of very, very intelligent people who get arrested for crimes, and they don't have any idea how to invoke their rights. They know they can say them. if you've watched any crime show on TV, you can say, I've got the right to remain silent. Anything I say can and will be used against me in a court of law. I have the right to an attorney and blah, blah, blah. Most people can say that, but most people, and I mean most people, almost all people, don't know what that means. Even the intelligent people. And so when you've got people who are not worldly and who haven't been in this situation ever, and they get pulled over by a police officer or they get stopped on the street by a police officer, they need to know how to react. And it's not just a matter of saying be polite and courteous, because there's more to it than that. If you're polite and courteous and you want to cooperate with the police, you can cooperate with the police without giving up your right to remain silent. It's not easy, because it's not easy to tell a police officer no, because they don't like it when they're told no. But when they ask you a question, you go, I don't want to answer that question. I don't talk to the police. They get really put off about it. And some of them more so than others. And some of them will actually respect you for invoking your right to remain silent. Some of them, actually, if they go to arrest you and they really care about you, they'll say, hey, listen, you have the right to remain silent. And I would probably practice that. I wouldn't say anything until you get a lawyer. I've done that for people that, especially young people that get arrested for whatever crime, whether it's weed or, whatever. Look, dude, don't talk to the police. And I am a cop. Or, I used to be. I'm just talking about when I was. So it's important for you to understand what your rights are and how to invoke them. And if we would teach that to high schoolers, now it's going to take a while, because, we showed this video of the KGB defector who said the demoralization of a nation takes about 15 to 20 years. We've gone a long way in this country. We didn't get this way overnight, is what I'm saying. And so it's not going to be fixed in one semester, but it will be fixed if we start tackling it now. And if you're a politician and you're watching this video, call me. I've got some ideas on how to fix this. Reach out to me. I've got some curriculum that we'd like to introduce into the schools. I might apply for a grant to do something like that, because I'm so passionate about teaching people how to deal with police contact from every side. I'm a former police officer. I've worked for the DA's office for a short time when I left the PD before I became a defense lawyer. And I've been a defense lawyer for 22 years. And if you go a few years before that, I was in the backseat a couple of times. I mean, I know cops. And I know that young people don't know how to deal with this kind of stuff. And that's why you get so many young people who run, or they resist when they shouldn't. And they end up getting shot or tased or something, and it escalates. Sometimes they're shot accidentally. You got the Dante Wright issue where she thought she had a taser. She ends up shooting him. You got the 13-year-old in Chicago who ran, and he went to throw the gun behind a fence. And because he turned a certain way, the cop thought he was wheeling around with the gun, and he shot him and killed him. And if that kid had been taught in school how to deal with, would it still have happened? I don't know. I mean, sometimes you just can't fix everything with education, but educating young people about police contact and how to do it the right way, and not just roll over and do everything the cop says, but actually invoke your rights to remain silent, your right against unreasonable search and seizures, and many more. But you got to learn how to do that. And if we don't teach people how to do that, this problem that we've got is going to get worse. It's just going to get worse. Every single day, I see a new body cam. Somebody getting shot, somebody getting killed, somebody getting tased, somebody getting run over. We've got to do something to fix it. So if you're interested in that, go to our website, standagainstdarkblue.com, sign our pledge. You'll get on our mailing list. We'll email you notices when we're going to go live somewhere. If we're going to have an event somewhere, you can be a part of it. And we're going to really start getting involved in legislation. We need to get involved in law enforcement. We need to get the church involved in law enforcement more so than anything else. I mean, we've excluded God in this nation from our schools and from everything. And it's time for our praying nation to get back to work and clean this mess up, because that's really the only way it's going to get fixed, my opinion. Anyway, longer video than I expected, but it's worthy. And when you have a bully cam like this, and I know I'm calling it bully cam, it's a body cam. But seriously, if cops are going to be bullies, why don't we just shine the light on it? Why don't we make this video go viral? And every time you see a video like this of a police officer mistreating somebody, share it with somebody, make it go viral, because sooner or later they'll quit doing that kind of crap. Maybe. You ain't seen nothing yet. That's the way I feel, man. That's why I selected this song as our intro and outro song, because you ain't seen nothing yet. We're just getting started here. We started this channel with 0 viewers. I can't do it the other way because they'll say I'm a white supremacist. And those of you that know that sign will know what I mean. We started with 0. And the video we ran 2 days ago had 1,300 views, which is good. And we're picking up followers here and there. Go to our YouTube channel. If you're watching on Facebook, go like and subscribe on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, go like and subscribe on Facebook. And it just builds the audience, and it makes us harder to cancel down the road. Helps the algorithms too. Thanks for watching tonight, Adam, and commenting and being part of the show. And I invite you all to do that. Until we see each other again, let's all stand against the darkness. Let's pray for our police officers. And when we see bullying and darkness like this, let's shine a light on it. I'll be right there with you.
You ain't seen nothing yet.